Alright, how's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be talking about Tesla stock, dude. It is absolutely crazy. It's up 8%. At one point, it was up like 8+%. Now it's just under 8%. That is nuts. And we're going to be talking about specifically the Cybertruck numbers that I found. Now over 1 million pre-orders for the Cybertruck, according to a few websites which have been pretty credible because Elon kind of confirmed a lot of these numbers. So I would say it's pretty accurate, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is even over 1 million pre-orders, which is completely nuts. We're going to be talking about how much revenue they can make from this, why the stock is up today. Now make sure you guys subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I talk about all about stocks on this channel, so if you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys can help me reach that goal in any way, shape, or form, share the channel. That'll be really appreciated. So let's just jump straight into it. So Tesla today, it's up at $750. It was trading for a while, man. It was for a while trading at just under 700 for like a few months, right? For a good month or so. And then obviously after the dip, but it's now reaching close to the 800 mark, 900 mark, where it peaked out just in the beginning of this year. So that's pretty interesting. Now I couldn't find, there's no like specific reason why it's up today. Obviously earnings for Tesla is coming up pretty damn soon. I'm going to be live streaming the earnings report, or at least making a video about the earnings when they do release. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel to stay up to date on when the earnings come out. I'll for sure be covering that. We obviously know the car deliveries for Q1 has been incredible. I made a video on that as well. That was absolutely nuts. Obviously today I made a few videos talking about as well how I believe Tesla stock was a pretty good deal about a month ago, when especially when it's trading at 600, 650, even at 750. It's still obviously pretty expensive. My cost basis is so low on this stock when I bought it a few years back. So if we look at the 4P, if it's updated, it's now at 166, which is still pretty pricey, but I mean, for the growth they're gonna have, it's really interesting. But let's jump into the Cybertruck numbers. So basically, we saw that last year, about March time, it's about a year ago, they had 600,000 pre-orders to its name. And then according to the crowd list, it was nearly 400,000 people have reserved it in the past few months. And we know that from the same crowd source, almost a year later, we have 1 million pre-orders. It's surpassed 1 million based on the same crowdsourced tracker. I believe it's the same one. That's absolutely crazy. Now, 1 million pre-orders deep is basically showing that they have all of that in reservations. Obviously, they get about $100 per reservation. I think some people can put more, if I'm not mistaken. But if you go to the official like chart, it shows that it's just over 1 million net bookings of Cybertrucks. And then even a 50% cancel, which is on the high side. Honestly, when Cybertruck releases, right? Let's say you're a person that puts $100 down on the Cybertruck. I believe the first people that get the Cybertruck on the used market, it's going to be so expensive. Like if you buy a Cybertruck, you can flip it for like, I would say 20% premium plus. So if you buy a Cybertruck for 50 grand, you can probably sell it for 60 grand, 70 grand on the used, or not even used market, but the secondhand market. Because I think the demand is going to be so cool. It's almost like an iPhone, right? I think when the iPhone X came out for the first time, it was like the first iPhone of that kind. People were buying it for like 2,000. People were paying so much extra. Even like Sony, the PS5s, those type of items that have such high demand and they're so limited in supply. I feel like people would wanna take delivery just because of how in demand it is, even if it's not the best financial decision or it's not something they really need in their life, like it's not a necessity. So I think 50% of people canceling is a bit on the high side. I do agree with that. It's probably going to be, honestly, probably like 25%, 30%. Even that's very conservative to the amount of people that cancel. But nonetheless, that equates to 30 billion in guaranteed revenue. Now that's pretty good. That's a pretty good amount of revenue, even 50% of people that cancel. And that's not taking into account the amount of people that will be buying full self-driving, which is pure profit, and then all the other upgrades as well that comes with it. Obviously in the future they're going to be able to get money from insurance, and then obviously any maintenance that comes to the car, obviously after the warranty and stuff like that. So long term, that'll probably bring a good amount of revenue to it as well. Now that is nuts, man. 1 million pre-orders means that that is more cars, or as many cars that they've sold in the history of the company. So they just sold their millionth vehicle not too while ago, right? And with the Cybertruck having a million pre-orders, that means they could basically double the amount of cars they sold just from that. And I do think it's going to be quite it's going to be quite a while till you can actually get your hands on one. If you pre-order one today, it's probably a few years time. Now already Tesla's up now 8% for the day. So if anyone's holding this, I mean, kind of congrats to you guys, unless you bought in at 900, but even then, congrats. I do think it could go up for sure over $1 trillion market cap. Now the reason why it's up is, as well, I believe yesterday they got a good amount of people actually giving raises to Tesla's price target. So we saw an analyst topping $1,000 because of their energy business. So a lot of people are bullish on the energy side of Tesla, and a lot of people that do analysis on the stock never take into account the energy side of the business. Like Kathy Wood never even takes into account the amount of sales they can get from solar and stuff like that. I think that's definitely going to grow for sure for Tesla in the coming months, years, even decades for the company. And yeah, anyways, nonetheless, it's a very good sign. Make sure you guys stay tuned for me actually giving you guys a full in-depth into the earnings report when it does release. Now, if you guys haven't purchased Tesla or you're thinking about buying it, I mean, I wouldn't trade this stock. I always say this in my videos, but am I buying in these prices? Not really. There is upside, definitely, but I just see better upside into other stocks. I've made videos on the channel in the past. But if you guys haven't gone into Tesla yet, I mean, definitely look into it as a long-term play. I wouldn't buy the stock if you're only going to hold it for like 6 months, few months. This is definitely a multi-year, if not decade play for Tesla, as there's so much potential for the company. I believe they just released that. What country was it in? But I think it was Germany. It was the highest selling EV, even more than Volkswagen. Which is crazy for Germany because of how popular that car is in Europe and those type of places. So nonetheless, I do think it's going to be very interesting for Tesla in the coming years, decades, etc. So it's even topping close to the close of the market. It's already at 761. Wouldn't be surprised if this stock goes up to the all-time highs by the end of the year, especially if those tax credits come out with the infrastructure bill. That's going to be game over, in my opinion, for Tesla stock, because they're going to be able to sell cars like crazy. It's going to sell like hotcakes if that comes out. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Kind of a shorter video of mine, but hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you on my next video.